This episode of the Nerf Herder Council is brought to you by Audible.com. Start your free 30-day trial and get a free audiobook download by visiting audibletrial.com/NHC.
Warning. The following podcast contains irreverent humor, exceptionally nerdy opinions, potential cursing, and plenty of love for the prequels. If any of the preceding offends you, please turn off this podcast immediately, and may the Force be with you.
Why, you stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder!
You can't use that word! Only we can use that word!
It's time for the Jedi to end.
You're tuned in to the Nerf Herder Council, your source for Star Wars opinion, conversation, and debate, featuring your hosts, JT. I mean, they killed his mother. What's he supposed to do? Send him a postcard? I wish you wouldn't have done that. AJ.
Well, if you don't remember something you already saw, that does not count as a spoiler. That counts as you not paying attention.
Steve.
It's like what was it, Force Friday at Toys R Us last year? It's just everybody's normal, and then something about microphones, and everything's lit now.
On this episode of the Nerf Herder Council, we discuss Colin Trevorrow's recent firing from the production of Episode 9 and recap our adventures on this year's Force Friday.
This is the Nerf Herder Council.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Nerf Herder Council. I am your host, your slightly scratchy-voiced host, JT. With me are AJ and Steve. And apologize if I'm a little, again, scratchy this show. It was a long weekend of singing 3 shows in a row and then imbibing in a few cocktails and talking over other bands playing for about 8 hours on Sunday afternoon and evening. So still in recovery mode. But, we have a lot to talk about on this episode. We actually, right before we hit record, saw some breaking news that we are going to discuss, which is pretty big, actually. And we'll read the article for you.
Han Solo confirmed dead.
Up your ass. No.
And we're off.
Yeah. In the second such bit of news this year coming out of the Star Wars universe, Colin Trevorrow is out as the director of Star Wars Episode 9. So, following on the heels of Chris Miller and Phil Lord getting booted from the Han Solo movie, now Colin Trevorrow has mutually agreed to part ways with the production of Star Wars Episode 9. The article is as follows. Lucasfilm has released an announcement that Colin Trevorrow will no longer be directing Star Wars Episode 9. Here's the official statement from Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm and Colin Trevorrow have mutually chosen to part ways on Star Wars Episode 9. Colin has been a wonderful collaborator throughout the development process, but we have all come to the conclusion that our visions for the project differ. We wish Colin the best and will be sharing more information about the film soon. This story is developing, and we will update as more news comes out. Update! The Hollywood Reporter shared what some of the reasons for the breakup are, coming from their sources. Sources tell the Hollywood Reporter that script issues have continued to be the continuing sore spot with Episode 9's development, with Trevorrow having had repeated stabs at multiple drafts. In August, Jack Thorne, the British scribe who wrote the upcoming Julia Roberts Jacob Tremblay movie Wonder, was tapped to work on the script. Sources say that the working relationship between Trevorrow and Lucasfilm head Kathleen Kennedy became unmanageable. Kennedy, who had already been through one director firing/replacement on the Han Solo spinoff, was not eager for a sequel and tried to avoid this decision. Variety stated a similar reason for the departure. Sources indicated to Variety that the split stemmed from differences on the script between Trevorrow and studio executives. The film was expected to hit theaters on May 24th, 2019, with production expected to start early next year. Update 2! Also, Entertainment Weekly added the following. While the nature of the disagreement with Lucasfilm isn't clear, there have been rumblings of discontent for several months. During that time, Trevorrow also suffered withering reviews for his passion project, The Book of Henry, which was a critical and commercial calamity. I did read about that. That actually made me nervous. He was all about that movie, and it apparently is an enormous steaming turd. So, and Anthony Breznican shared what many of us had thought about the potential candidates. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Rian Johnson has had no such turmoil during the making of The Last Jedi, which hits theaters in December. And J.J. Abrams had a similarly smooth process reigniting the franchise with 2015's The Force Awakens. Depending on the turnaround necessary for a filmmaker to begin the 2019 Episode 9, either Johnson or Abrams, who has no pending directorial commitments, seem like possible fan favorites to bring the trilogy to a close. And then they have a poll. Who do you want to direct Star Wars Episode 9? Your three choices are J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson, or other. I chose other.
George Lucas?
I was gonna say, you just want George to do it.
No, actually, it actually was not.
Hashtag bring back George.
No, I mean
John just Googled all the movies that other has directed, and a lot of good stuff came up.
Others actually a guy. No, I would like to see Gareth Edwards again. Rogue One was so freaking good that let him do another one.
Oh yeah, I mean, based on the two Disney-led films, he's definitely my choice.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry, I just can't forgive J.J. Abrams for what he did to Star Trek.
I thought they were cool. I just didn't like the kind of blatantly ripping off.
He left Simon Pegg in charge, and Beyond was such a turd it made Into Darkness look good.
All right,
wasn't
that's a whole nother podcast discussion, but I disagree with you. I liked Beyond. I thought it was cool.
Wasn't Edwards replaced too, though? For
the
all the reshoots.
Yeah, for reshoots.
Even though he still got, full credit basically but he was replaced too towards the back end of it.
Yeah, but I just think what he did with Rogue One, I mean, it's mostly his work.
All right, so it's not like who came in? Gilroy, right?
Yeah.
He was so it's not like he completely changed the tone of the film or anything.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but Rogue One is such an unbelievably great Star Wars film that if they said, yeah, Gareth Edwards is coming back, I'd be like, sweet.
I want to know why they decided to bring this up and release this now. Like, are they somehow like beholden to shareholders or something? Because they've already, I mean, we're in the shoot for Last Jedi, and then there's Han Solo movie coming up 6 months later. Why the hell are they distracting anyone with news about Episode 9?
It must be some fiscal year thing, because I mean, just the other day I saw that Lego was putting out their numbers for, coming on a loss up to this point.
Yeah,
they lost a crap ton of money too.
And they're laying off 1,400 people.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's just the business side of it that Disney needs to drop this kind of bombshell out, just because they're getting towards the end of their fiscal year or whatever.
It might be one of those business rules because they have shareholders that they have to have full disclosure on these kinds of things.
Do you think it could be a PR thing, though? Because look at how everybody freaked out when, oh my God, there's reshoots for Rogue One. And then Lord and Miller were replaced on Han Solo, and everyone's crapping their pants about that. So maybe they just wanted to make this Colin Trevorrow announcement ASAP because it hasn't gone into production yet. So they don't want people throwing another fit and them having to come out and go, no, everything's fine.
Yeah, it could just be damage control.
Yeah, I mean,
I think what this really shows,
or it's 2017. People are going to find out anyways. You might as well you might as well drop your own bombshell before everybody else figures it out. And like you said, John, lose their minds over the damn thing.
Well, this is the third director
of 5 movies. Yeah.
Well, no. The third one is actually, I mean, I don't really count the Gilroy thing because it's not like Gareth Edwards was fired or anything. But you have Miller and Lord getting booted off of Han Solo. Now you've got Colin Trevorrow getting booted off Episode 9. And you had Josh Trank booted off of the Boba Fett movie. Because he was supposed to show up and talk about it at Celebration Anaheim. And like a couple days before, like, oh, he's not coming. I was like, what the hell? And then he just had a freak out or something, and they booted him, and they didn't like what he was doing. So really, in a potential, 6 movies or something, they've had 3 director problems?
As happy as we are with the direction that Disney has taken the franchise, Kathleen Kennedy must be an absolute pain in the ass to work with. Because that's the one common thread in all these stories is Kathleen Kennedy had an issue with the director.
Yeah. And
we talked about this when the news broke about Lord and Miller, and we sided with her. But I don't know, man. I mean, how many more times can we take her side before we're like, maybe it's her that's the problem here?
Yeah. And I mean, God, I hate saying this because I don't want this to be true, but the more stuff that keeps coming out about The Last Jedi, it seems to be mirroring Empire Strikes Back a little closely for my liking. And I was really hoping it wasn't going to do that. So I really wonder if maybe something with episode 9 was starting to get Return of the Jedi-ish.
I think maybe
Colin
the opposite.
No, Colin Trevorrow didn't want it to do that, and they wanted it to be Return of the Jedi-ish.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
How awful is it going to be if all they do with this new trilogy is just ape 4, 5, and 6?
I guarantee that is going to be everyone's reaction if that's the case. You can't escape the similarities.
If The Last Jedi comes out and it's very much like Empire Strikes Back, I don't know how anybody, even the apologists for episode 7 that say that it doesn't follow episode 4, I don't know how even they could explain it away if both movies, all of a sudden, you've basically got a rehash of 4 and 5.
I mean, you could even go so far as like Mark Hamill's gone on record as saying that, he didn't expect this twist for the Luke Skywalker character. That's somewhat of a parallel to Vader coming out as Luke's father.
Yeah, and that's what you and I were talking about that off air. And you've got Canto Bight, which is, like I say,
Cloud City.
Yeah, Canto Bight is Cloud City. You've got Crate with a Walker battle, which is looking like Hoth. It's like you've got the old Jedi training the young Jedi on the secluded world where no one knows that they're there.
By the way, a little side note, because you just said you realize that Cloud City should be nothing like Canto Bight, right? Cloud City was a Tabana gas mine. It was a gas mine. It was a mining facility. But now, like in the new canon, it's been retconned into being some sort of like Las Vegas in the sky. Because there's that scene in Aftermath, Empire's End, in the 3rd book, where Lando, finally retakes Bespin, or not Bespin, but Cloud City with Lobot, and the last Imperial holdouts are in a casino.
Okay.
There was apparently a casino on Bespin in Cloud City. That never existed before. It was a mining facility.
Wow, I didn't know that. See, I haven't read those books. I heard that they were okay.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like,
it's only because their plot points are important that makes them worth reading.
Also Chuck Wendig's Twitter feed drives me insane. So I kind of, as soon as I start reading it, I'm like, this guy's an a-hole.
But they are read by Mark Thompson.
Well, of course they are.
So
who else would read them?
Well,
but Mark Thompson.
But at least our listeners could give them a listen with no financial commitment whatsoever.
They could if they went to audibletrial.com/NHC and
do they get a free 30-day trial with that?
They get a free 30-day trial of Audible.
And what's included with that 30-day trial?
You actually can download one free audiobook.
Right. So you could start on the Aftermath trilogy or end the Aftermath trilogy if you don't feel like reading the first 2 books.
Yeah. Are the first 2 necessary, do you think?
Well, shock value and, of course, for understanding the characters in the 3rd one.
True. All right. Yeah, I guess there's really no point in only reading one of them, I guess. But so, yeah, I don't know. This whole director change thing is starting to get...
Why do they even have to, I think the real moral of the story here is don't talk about movies that aren't even in pre-production, in serious pre-production yet. I mean, they announced this thing how long ago? Like, oh yeah, here's who we've got lined up for this and that. And here we are over a year and a half out from its release. It hasn't even gone in front of cameras yet. And they've already got to start announcing things because things have changed from their initial plans.
Yeah.
Like if they had just shut up about it and didn't start talking about it, I don't know, until maybe 8 was out.
That would be helpful.
I don't know. Steve, think about this. Let's say episode 8 just kind of like rips off Empire Strikes Back and the Han Solo movie turns out to be kick-ass. You're going to have episode 7 versus Rogue One, which I think everyone would pretty much universally agree that Rogue One is better.
No, that's pretty divided, actually.
No, it's not.
Both camps are pretty devout. If you like one, you don't love both.
I would disagree with that. I've read more much more positives for Rogue One than Episode 7.
That's true, but anyone who is on the side of Episode 7 probably has a lot of issues with Rogue One. That's what I found, is most people don't love both equally.
I haven't seen that. Well, people don't love them equally, yeah, but I've seen more people that, like, Rogue One than are into Episode 7. Like, let's say like 80% of people say Episode 7's kick-ass. I would say 95% of people say Rogue One. So let's say that's the percentage, just, spitballing. Then what if the same thing happens, like where Episode 8 is kind of like just a rehash of Empire, and Han Solo turns out to be awesome? Basically, what you're going to have is they're almost crapping the bed with the sequel trilogy, and
Right?
and the movies that tell an original story are great. What will that say?
Well, we didn't really know where this story was going.
That'll say that Disney cashed in amazingly in this entire ordeal.
Oh my God, it'll piss me off to no end. It's like, why do you have to do that? I mean, the only hope then is that if they do make a 10, 11, and 12, there's really no blueprint for that, because they're not going to go back and try and rip off, the prequels. So they have to do something original.
Well, it would have to be new then.
They could rehash 4, 5, and 6 again.
Yeah, just rehash 7, 8, and 9. They just kind of redo it all.
They just have a scene where they go, well, no, this is bigger than Starkiller Base was. They just keep doing size comparisons to everything.
Don't get me started on that. Oh my God.
Like, they just bring up the holograms of the Death Star and then Starkiller Base, and then this thing that just dwarfs all of it.
I am so sick
and
of
yet
it.
an X-Wing takes it down at the end of the episode.
So the Death Star was like the moon, and then Starkiller Base would be like Earth, and then in 10, 11, and 12 they would have the one that's like Jupiter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had enough of, here's our First Order thing. It looks like an Empire thing, but it's way bigger.
Right?
You've seen they revealed Snoke's ship now.
Yeah, I mean,
the supremacy.
It's cool because it's not
like
just
the
like
the hologram of Snoke is even bigger than the hologram of Palpatine. as
right?
well.
Like, what the hell is
I
it?
never thought about it.
Apparently the remnants of the Empire that slunk off and formed the First Order, what they really decided was the major downfall of the Empire was that their stuff wasn't big enough.
You know what that is?
Could it be that they're all just
Overcompensating for small wieners.
mini scale? Like, is everybody in the Star Wars universe now just dwarfed down to the size of an Ewok, and everything else is just normal size?
I think I think it's that overcompensation theory where they say like dudes with the huge pickup trucks that don't need it, they're just compensating because they've got like a 2-inch pecker.
So when we see the back of Snoke's ship, it's going to have one of those rubber balls, the rubber testicles. It's just going to have a ball sack dangling off the back. Yeah.
All right. And it's made of dunium.
Judging by
dunium.
Judging by that robe that Snoke's wearing, I wouldn't be surprised if he's got a trailer hitch on the back of that damn ship.
Right? Yeah, he's got a trailer hitch and a dunium ball bag hanging off the back of his ship. Like, who's in that ship? Oh, can't you tell? Like, yeah, I don't know. It's yeah. Well,
it really obscures the Yosemite Sam back off mud flaps.
But with the trucker girl inlays on it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. Man, we lost to the good guys last time. How'd that happen? I think I have an idea. All right, what do you got? Our crap was too small. That's exactly it. You're promoted, and you're getting not just a little promotion, a big promotion.
Maybe that's how Hux got his job. They had one of those old school overhead projectors that we all saw in high school back in the day. And
he was running the AV department.
And he meant to put it normally, but he had the little thing pulled back so far that it just like was giant on the wall. And Snoke was like, oh, that's it.
Private Hux? You're now
Hux
General Hux.
Hux was like, no, that's not what. No, that's brilliant. And he's like, that's what I was going for.
Kylo's like, I've been training with Luke how long? Oh, come on!
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
and back to the original thing. Yes, it would show how smart Disney was to just take this thing for $4 billion, rehash the same idea, which means minimal work, cash in boatloads of friggin' money since they're already in the green on this thing after 2 movies. And then they just get to laugh their way to the damn bank again.
How disgusting would it be, though? Wouldn't you absolutely detest that? As a true fan, if all you get by the time the credits roll at the end of episode 9, if all you get out of the sequel trilogy is just a rehashing of 4, 5, and 6, aren't you going to be absolutely like enormously pissed?
Yeah, I mean, we bring sports analogies into this a lot, and our old lovely football team here in Cleveland. I always say that I've run out of excuses for them. Well, I'm still defending Disney and Star Wars. If they do it to me 1, 2 more times by the time 9 comes out, and I have no excuses left.
Yeah, I think for me
it is what it is on paper at that point. You know, you can only make up so much crap to try to defend, you know, the honor of old Disney there. But
I'm just gonna throw a fit if 8 obviously rips off Empire, because that is my worst fear. And if that comes true, and then basically whatever they do in 9, you're going to have 2 of 3 movies that are just like, hey, remember this thing you already really liked? Well, here it is again.
Well,
oh my God, is that going to suck?
Well, we've got a new image to show you, courtesy of Force Friday and Toys R Us. You want to see it?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Here you go.
Am I going to like, this doesn't sound good.
Well, we intended to talk Force Friday on this podcast anyway, so they were handing out posters as part of the Force Friday 2 midnight release, and we picked it up. So we're about to show JT the poster for the first time. He's yet to see it.
And bring it over the microphone there.
It is an image of Crate.
That looks just like fucking Hoth.
Yeah, well,
but there's red over
for the
here.
benefit of our audience who can't see this, it's a picture of walkers traversing the landscape of Crate, which we already knew was a white planet, and obviously we knew that there were walkers on it. The thing that's interesting here is it actually shows an original AT-AT walking alongside the AT-M6 gorilla walkers that are new for the movie. So you get to see just how much bigger they are. Oh, and
size difference!
Bigger walkers! More guns! And look up in the sky. We have TIE fighters. And, oh, what's flying with the TIE fighters, JT?
TIE bombers.
And what movie were TIE bombers introduced in?
Empire Strikes Back.
And what movie were walkers introduced in?
Empire Strikes Back.
And what movie was a white landscaped planet introduced in?
Empire Strikes Back.
But it's going to be way different because there weren't any TIE fighters or TIE bombers on Hoth.
Man, oh man. Like, okay, see, those gorilla walkers look really cool. So
I really want to see them in motion.
Yeah, but I mean, doing it that much bigger, I mean, you've already basically said that walkers can't really be destroyed. You got to do like single ships can't do it. They haven't come up. How about instead of like,
but as we saw in the original trilogy, they can be. So let's design. Design a tougher one.
Yeah, by
so what is
by
the
tripping them up,
resistance equivalent of the snow speeder so they can take these bastards down?
They already it's called a
ski speeder.
Ski speeder.
Okay, so that was what we saw in the trailer then.
And what do you ski on? Snow. Oh, come on!
So is that what we were seeing in the trailer then?
Yes,
those
are ski speeders.
So if they come around and they put a tow cable on these things, are we just going to up and walk out of the theater?
I want to know who the poor bastard. Who's the poor bastard in the First Order that gets to ride in the old walker? Like they got this whole fleet of new awesome walkers. Like you get the old.
It's like the a-hole.
Get the old busted one.
It's like your stepson. He's got his temps, so they got to give him like the little guy.
Yeah. The old walkers are the Plymouth K car of the New Order or the First Order, excuse me.
It's just walking down the planet and it's just rusty and you're hearing it go and the legs move because one of them's all rusty and squeaky and moving slower than the other 3.
It's like everyone's first car where like half of it doesn't work. It's got to warm up to make left turns.
Right, like Warren's car. It's basically bait. They set it out front,
right?
So they're like, all right, well, this isn't too bad. And then these giant things come out behind, like, crap.
Talking about Force Friday, and I'm looking at this computer screen here. Doesn't Kylo's ship look exactly like the things from Phantom Menace? But they were pointed down.
Oh, the Vulture droid.
Vulture droids, yeah.
It looks exactly like a friggin' Vulture droid.
Speaking of Force Friday, because you have it up on the screen with the Luke figure, did you guys see the effed up Luke figures?
No.
Oh my God, they were all over Twitter. Did you see them?
I saw an effed up Han Solo one though that the eyes were all wonky.
I didn't see the Han Solo one, dude. There was apparently a batch of Luke Skywalkers where the one eye, it would be his come on left eye. It was like down on the cheek. So
and these were Hasbro or Black Series?
Black Series, the 6-inch
God.
Black Series.
Limited edition, David
God,
Prowse as Luke Skywalker.
That's so wrong, dude. Dude. Right? Seriously, you know those things are gonna like be totally valuable. I want to find one. I want to go looking for these things, man. But now that they've been all over social media, you know that every store's been picked clean looking for the half-a-tard Luke, you know? Like he had like a porg fly into his head at top speed or something.
Oh, there were porgs at Force Friday.
Were there?
There were porgs.
Porg Watch 2017.
There were porgs
There we
all
go.
over that thing. In fact, Target was giving away a giant 4-foot tall porg.
That one I saw.
We were watching for that.
That thing was a hair away from being the permanent fourth seat on our podcast.
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, the winning ticket number was, what was it?
0038, and I had 0037.
Oh, are you serious?
Yep. AJ and I walked into Target like
We didn't even know that was a thing.
2 or 3 minutes before they even pulled the thing. They were like, "Do you want to be part of the giveaway?" And we're like, "Sure. What is it?" And then they started pulling out buttons. And we're like, "Cool, free things. So we'll take that."
Right.
And then they're like, "Keep this little raffle ticket." And we're like, "For what, dude? I don't know what's going on." But then 5 minutes later, they pulled this thing. We saw it off to the side. We're like, "Dude, that's a giant friggin' porg over there." And then they go, "Oh, the number is 0038." And, since I never win anything, I didn't even think to look. And then like 30 seconds later, I look down. I'm like, "Oh, crap." Like, yeah, AJ, look, I was one number off.
Oh, man.
If we didn't dawdle around Toys R Us for, 5 extra seconds or whatever, we would have been over there and nailed that damn thing.
Well, we were rooting through all the legit. This was actually on the pegs. Constable Zuvio Black Series figures.
Still?
Yes.
Full price.
Full price Zuvio.
Oh, come on, really?
And know what they were missing? I don't know. I don't think I saw one Rey Black Series at Toys R Us. No Luke.
Nope. You know what the new peg warmer is? Vader.
Yes. The new Vader
you
was
serious?
the peg warmer.
Vader's in the new assortment, and
Yeah.
The only thing our Toys R Us had that was worth a piss was the episode 4 Luke with the land speeder. They didn't even have Rey on the speeder bike. Which, I mean, I went in there for the episode 8 Rey and the speeder bike Rey. Neither of them were even there.
Do you think they sold out of them, or were you right there when they opened?
We were like 10 people in the back of the line. I mean,
Wow.
those pegs were full. Like no Hera, no like half the things that we saw that were supposed to be getting released, our Toys R Us did not have again. This is the second Force Friday, third if you count the Rogue One, whatever the hell they
Rogue
called it.
Friday.
That year. Like, yeah, I should
Yeah.
have known that. But yeah, like third
Rogue
year in a
Friday.
row that our Toys R Us, our local Toys R Us, did not have half the crap that they were supposed to have on the shelf for this big event. And
I wonder how much business a place would get if they actually advertised we're going to have all of it. You have to assume that they would get pounded with people.
yeah, if you're going to make a whole event based around come buy the new toys, make sure you've got a crap load of the new toys.
Yeah, make sure you have the
this
new
whole
toys.
it's a limited release. No, screw the limited release.
'Cause
We're
remember the
already
first-
here at midnight on a
Yeah.
Thursday.
yeah, the first year they didn't even have the exclusives there for us. Remember, there was stuff that Toys R Us was supposed to exclusively have that a lot of us were going after, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we didn't get any of that stuff in yet."
You know they did.
Yeah, of course, they
Dude,
did.
the damn employees are probably skimming them to try and resell them, probably.
Absolutely. Just like the guys that are posting pictures all over the place on social media holding the boxes of the Millennium Falcon Lego kit that are supposed to be in sealed boxes still. Like, I mean, I know that's not breaking street date because it's not on the shelf, but knowing what I know from my wife managing a GameStop, those things come in. They will get them weeks early, and there is things on the box that say these are not to be opened, period, by anybody until this date to keep from leaks and things
Yeah.
like that. Like, there should not be pictures of people going, "Hey, look, I got the Millennium Falcon box in my hand right now," which is also stemming people selling pre-sales on eBay for $1,200-$1,300 that are
Oh my god.
that are getting bites. because people are stupid enough to think that they can get this kit in their hand before the release date, and they probably can because there's probably Lego store employees that might be taking them home with them.
Right. You know what we should do? Next year, AJ, you get a part-time job at Target like the week before Force Friday. I'll get one at Toys R Us, and Steve, you get one at Walmart, and we'll just...
no, I can't do Walmart, man.
I'll do Walmart. I worked there before. You can have Toys R Us.
All right.
And we'll skim the exclusives and then quit.
Perfect.
It sounds like a great plan.
It's always a good idea to hatch misdemeanors on the air.
I'm not saying we won't pay for them.
We'll drop this episode, and then a week from now, I'll go back. We'll bleep this section out.
Okay.
See, what you have to do is...
It'll be like every Chris Benoit match from WWE Network.
Yeah, exactly. Have they really done all of his matches? I know.
Oh, yeah. He's completely excommunicated.
Really?
I didn't know that.
When you murder
He's
your
never
whole
existed.
family,
Well,
you don't
true.
exist anymore.
True.
Yeah.
He has never existed.
But yeah, all you do is you just, when the shipments come in, you set what you want aside in like a corner of the warehouse. Nobody ever looks. And then after it goes on sale, you just go up front with your little toys and you buy them and you kind of sneak out and like, okay.
You got to make one good friend, though, that's like cool enough to ring you out with this stuff and
Yeah,
not say anything.
Like the manager.
Well, I wasn't apparently good enough friends with the Walmart associates last week because those jerks, they put out all the Last Jedi Lego sets early. In fact, over a week early on the shelves. And then I go marching up there. We're like, oh, cool. I'm going to buy my BB-8 right now. Wouldn't ring up. Store manager wouldn't sell it to me.
What?
This wasn't supposed to be out yet. Well, it was, and I was able to barcode scan it in the Walmart app to find out how much it cost. Give me my BB-8.
I'd be like, either you sell it to me or I'm walking out with it.
Which is a
just haul ass.
Yeah. Don't even haul ass. Just go, good day, sir. I said good day.
what's that you say? It's not in the system yet? This isn't stealing then.
Yeah, right. This item is free. You know what else isn't in your system? That flyer of coupons. Therefore, if I walk out with that, is that stealing? No. So if this isn't in your system, then it's the same as the flyer. It's
Exactly.
free.
That's a dangerous road to go down. Then you're like, you know what also isn't in his catalog? Your carousel of bags.
That's what you do. Just take all the bags. Just go down everything if you want to sell you BB-8 and then turn around and holler from the lobby, I'll give these back as soon as you ring in me on that BB-8.
You know, the ultimate, and okay, if I was ever going to be a thief, I would have to do it ironically. Like, I would go and I would actually, like, steal the anti-theft systems. Just, like, go right up to the doors and just steal, like, the gates that you walk through.
Could you see someone just walking up and just going like the poor little old lady or little old man that's just making his side money, like, you know, in retirement for something to do, like, hi, welcome to Walmart. You're like, sup? And then just take the little thief thing and walk out. And then can you imagine looking at their face? They're just looking at you like, well, what the f- do I do now?
Right?
They didn't train us on this.
Do I even report this? I mean, what the
Yeah.
hell?
I'm just here to check receipts when they leave with more than $50 worth of stuff.
You
What
turn
about
back
this?
around and you go back in, you yank that little yellow highlighter out of their hands and book back out the door again.
I'll take that.
Yoink.
Yeah, I wonder, seriously though, like, I wonder if, like, certain stores, why they don't have everything. And you would think as a store to make money, I mean, everybody's promoting this. Why wouldn't you try and get everything and then make it known, like, hey, Star Wars fans, we will have everything. You'd have hundreds of people there, you would
That
think.
makes too much damn sense. That's why.
Wow.
None of those people want to be there at midnight. They're friggin' ecstatic that there's only 10, 15 friggin' people standing outside of that damn store. That way that all the idiots can come in, us included, can come in, roam around for 30 minutes and leave. Because if they had hundreds of people there, it's just like Black Friday all over again. None of those guys want to stay there that long. That's why they leave all that in the back and then they put it out a week later for their normal store hours so they don't have to screw around and work till 2 o'clock in the morning on Thursday.
I think they're pissed anyway because there's only 15 people there. They're like, wait a minute. We had to come in at midnight for 30 minutes. Like, this couldn't have waited until 9 a.m., really?
Well,
and then like Target, you know, they're giving away pins and they had their special Force Friday shirts on. So they had they had a uniform almost that they had to wear for 30, 40 minutes of work. Yet there was way more people in Target, though. I don't know if it was because of the porg giveaway or the fact that it was Target and random people are probably coming in and buying cat litter and friggin' Drano and
I was
stuff like
thinking
that
about
just because
that.
the store was open.
I was like, while I'm here, I do need like dog food and
'Cause
I
Force
think I need
Friday
some
was-
new flossers.
Look at this way. Locally, Force Friday was so bad that AJ was walking around with a random Lego kit in his hand of the Saturn V, and then we go over to Target and you start looking at stuff that you're like, you know what? I do need this for the house right now. You have no Star Wars crap, but yet you got 3 frozen meals, some bananas, some face wash, and some
Preparation H.
and some Drano and a Father's Day card for next year.
Right?
Hi, sir. Welcome to Force Friday. What can I get for you? Where are the laxatives? Ooh.
They get on the radio. Is this back about the Star Wars stuff?
Yeah. Are you looking for Star Wars laxatives? No, jackass. I can't take a dump. I need a regular laxative. I don't
There
care
is
about
some
Star
force
Wars.
involved, yes.
I woke up at midnight to come in here and get my damn Ninja blender.
Yeah, right. So what did you guys end up picking up?
I got 3 free buttons from Target, a poster from Toys R Us that was also free, and a T-shirt from Toys R Us also free. That's my haul.
You didn't buy anything?
Not a damn thing.
Really?
Not true, because I did walk away with one purchase from Force Friday, and it was for Steve. So,
What was it?
He decided to call it quits after Target. We figured we had screwed around enough for midnight on a Thursday, and me being the desperate soul that I am, I actually went over to Walmart just to see if there was anything worth seeing, and I did finally find one Episode 8 Rey Black Series figure. So I called him up, and I was like, hey, you want this? He's like, yes. So
Okay.
that's in my trunk. Don't let me leave without it tonight, by the way. Or with it, rather. So, yeah, the only thing I found was that one thing. Target had none of the Stormtrooper Executioners. I've never seen that thing in the flesh, and that was supposed to be the big get at Target.
Yeah, I heard a couple of people say they had one. I did not see. I saw like the side of a box. I didn't get to see the actual figure.
Oh, so you actually overheard people in the store saying they had it?
Yeah,
there and-
the one guy that we greeted going towards the giant porg, you recognize?
Oh, yeah, that was Tyler from Rogue Friday last year.
Okay, yeah, so that's probably why I didn't.
Was that the guy that you had on the air?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was cool.
He had one in his hand or in his bag, apparently.
Apparently, we now have like a revolving crowd that we can like count on for these events every year. So that's pretty cool.
Speaking of which, we did not get any names because we're great, podcasters like that. But we were talking with like 4 guys out front of Toys R Us for about an hour that were really cool and took some stickers and said they were going to check us out and took extra stickers to give to their friends. And
Well, that's
everything.
good.
So,
Oh, and there was a dude dressed up as a stormtrooper. He wasn't yet 501st approved, but he had the full armor on. He was hanging out. He was the dude that rolled up in the Jeep, right?
yes.
Yeah, dude
And
rolled
the
up in this
people at
all white Jeep Wrangler Unlimited, the 4-door, white, black trim, red LEDs, giant Imperial logos on the doors.
Please tell me he was driving as the stormtrooper.
No, he got
You can't see a thing in that helmet.
he
Well played.
He changed after he parked, and no love. Other than getting an Instagram picture, the people working at our Toys R Us over here, no love whatsoever. Because that guy found a shopping cart, very casually pushed it to the front of the line of the 15 people that were there, and they took the shopping cart from him and told him to get his ass to the back of the line. I'm like, no. He has earned his right to not have to wait.
I'd let that dude cut.
He should have been in that store 15 minutes before the rest of us to pick out whatever he wanted.
Wow.
If you're going to
That's
go in
a
there,
dick move. I'd
if you're
be like,
gonna
yeah,
go in
you're
there
invested.
and commit to that when there's nobody out there. If we were in California and there was 200 people lined up around the store and 12 of them were 501st approved, whatever. You're just another guy in the crowd. But when there's 15 people there, you're the one dude that decided, I'm going to try to liven this joint up a little bit and wear my stormtrooper armor. And you go, no. Back of the line's back there, stupid.
You guys,
And he didn't even do it like, hey, look at me. He just casually goes to the side of the building, grabs the cart, walks past everybody without saying a word, just lines up at the front doors. And then the dude comes out and just takes
And
the
I'm
cart.
like, and we were looking because there's double doors. And the guys come through and we're like, look, they're going to show this guy. They literally just opened the doors, took the cart, shut the damn doors again. Like,
what a bunch of douchebags.
and there was more carts on the side of the building. I'm like, go get another one.
Yeah, I'd get it for
I'm
him.
like, do it again until the damn carts are gone. Keep going.
right.
Just exhaust the entire stock of carts.
At the very least, they'll give you a job doing carts.
It's like a job interview.
Go across the street, grab a friggin' Walmart one, just bring it over. Just keep screwing with them until they let you in.
Oh my god! So you guys missed a great photo op. You should have had your picture taken with them. But man, security's tight for Force Friday.
As he was walking up, I was trying to figure out how I could just like photo op, hand on the back. When he turns around, there's a Nerf Herder Council sticker stuck on the back of the armor.
He doesn't even notice it till he goes to get his pictures taken for the 501st.
But like,
it's like there's this effing sticker on my armor.
As quick as that idea came into my head, I'm like, dude, I would be so pissed if somebody did that to me. I would not find that funny at all. So I can't justify doing that to somebody else.
The only way you could do it is if you put like a little like a piece of tape on the back.
Yeah, some Scotch tape.
Yeah, and
or
then
something.
you stick the sticker on there so that you could take it off, and then he has a sticker and it doesn't damage the armor.
Yeah.
Then you're being cool to other fans. Otherwise, that's just fan on fan crime.
Yeah.
And we do not espouse that here on the Nerf Herder Council. So
cosplaying is not consent.
That's very true. All, as it says all over Celebration.
He touched my codpiece, sir. At least I think he did. I'm not sure.
There's just a line of slave Leias everywhere. There's one stormtrooper with a sticker stuck to his helmet.
Nice. I think, you know what I was thinking about Force Friday? I'm like, they always release these new waves of Black Series. Eventually, I'm just going to have to save up like 120 or $150 and buy the entire wave at once. So I'm keeping caught up.
Yeah, you are falling dangerously behind.
I can't just buy a ton all the time. So I'm going to have to start hiding my purchases or something.
I don't know if they've kept up with the numbering consistently or if they restarted it at a higher number, because I seem to recall the Rogue One figures being in the 20s, and this wave was numbers 44 through 48.
Yeah, I think they just randomly pick numbers.
Yeah,
something.
I think they're just making shit up
They've
now.
got to have over 100 of these things now, don't they?
Not according to the damn side of the boxes, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, that's good news for me, but I just don't know if I'm supposed to collect like the big.
Well, if it's
like
locally,
the
you
big
can't
stuff,
collect
like,
half of them anyways because the damn stores aren't going to
they
have
won't
them.
even have them. No, but
I
you know,
mean,
like the giant TIE fighter that comes with the 6-inch or whatever. Like, I don't know, does that count? Or am I just supposed to collect like just the 6-inch figures themselves? Like,
well,
if you want to start a collection of nothing but Constable Zuvios, you're living in the right city.
Yeah,
that collection will be over in 2 figures.
Yeah, like AJ and I even talked about it. We're just going to buy them up, just corner the market, and just destroy the majority of them. That way, we can go, to Comic-Con or whatever with the one lone sealed Zuvio Black Series figure and go, hey, you know how much this crap is worth, man?
How funny would it be if like 20 years like that Zuvio figure that we're all making fun of right now, like they still have that stupid thing? How funny would it be in like 20 years if that's like the Obi-Wan Kenobi where there's like 8 of them AA mint in the world and they're worth like $60,000?
I mean, it's already the oddity of Star Wars collecting because to my knowledge, I'm sure James from Oswald could tell me differently, but how many figures have been made of characters that were supposed to be in the movie and never made it? Like, this guy officially does not exist. Was he even mentioned in the novelization for Force Awakens? I think he was even cut from that.
No, I think he was in the novelization, but I never finished it. I only got as far as about Finn's escape.
That was a hard read.
Oh, and you know what? I had the exact.
Even if you go to audibletrial.com/NHC for your free 30-day trial and a free audiobook download, it's still hard to get through.
Had to wait for it.
Yeah, I didn't know we were going for that one again. So.
Of course. Yeah, I had the same problem with the episode 3 novelization. I tried to get through that, and it was the same thing. I'm just like, oh my God.
Sometimes when you pad out a movie script, you pad it way too far.
Oh, and it's with all adjectives. It's just like constantly like, it wasn't a spaceship. It was a shiny, round, reflective, fast, deadly, sleek spacecraft.
Yeah.
It's like 17 adjectives before it was a spaceship. Like, really? Oh my gosh. It's like, so they're just like adding words to like get to a certain word count so it's long enough. And yeah, the episode 7 was kind of the same. I mean, it was based off, early versions of the script. So there's subtle differences and they expand on some stuff, but I still was just like, I can't get through this.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can pad that stuff, but fortunately, embellishment isn't always a bad thing. Take, for example, the new Ultimate Collector Series Lego Millennium Falcon, which I believe Steve was just thumbing through the pamphlet for. See, that's how you do a segue.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. But yeah, so continuing the Force Friday coverage, I did go to the Lego store in Beechwood itself, actually, to see the new collector series Millennium Falcon in person, since that was officially confirmed since our last recording as being the set. Largest Lego set ever produced, 7,500
the worst
pieces.
hidden secret in Lego.
Right. Dude, they managed to put out a ship that's going to be the exact same size as the one I did 10 years ago, but it's got 2,000 extra pieces in it. You talk about extra detail.
2,344 extra pieces. I'm not sure how many of that
That's
are
like an
counted
enormous
in.
set in and of itself.
Right.
I mean, counting minifigures and the extra front end pieces, and there's got to be about 30 pieces on that episode 7 sensor dish there. So I mean, other than that, there's still 2,000 pieces hidden in this thing somewhere. That
I just think it's really cool that they're giving you both the, both of the come on, stupid, I'm drawing a blank. There we go. Episode 7 and episode 5 characters, so you can, and the different radar dishes, so that you can kind of like do both.
How come they didn't give an extra 3PO with a red arm?
Because he was never on the Falcon in the movie.
Yeah, come on, Steve. That's an easy one.
That's why they don't have 3PO in pieces.
You know who
either.
else isn't on that thing anymore? This Han Solo right here. That's
Up
coming
your
with it.
ass.
Well, actually, they do make it. You can make it episode 8 specific because they do
You just have to throw the Han away.
Steve, get the button ready because they do have Porgs.
Porg Watch 2017.
Which
Buildable Porgs with the new Falcon.
Which
Are they
ironically
buildable, or
not.
are they just like a painted lump?
No, buildable.
Yeah,
What the hell do you
I think
build?
they're like the BB unit. They're probably like 2 stupid little pieces or something like that.
In fact, they actually use the piece that makes the head of the BB unit. They
Really?
use that on top of like a little 1x1 brick. So
Oh,
you like
geez.
build the body, and then there's this like painted Porg head piece that goes on there.
You could get a
Oh my
Minoc.
gosh.
And it comes with a Minoc too, because it's episode 5.
That'd be cool.
So yeah, you get that, and the Han and Leia figures have 2 faces.
Yeah, with the
alternate-
breathing thing
Oh,
on
no
it.
Yeah.
kidding.
So that's really cool, actually, because I don't know if those
Those are
if they-
exclusive.
I was saying I didn't think they've had a minifigure with those on them before.
What I did,
I actually came up with an idea. See,
What?
this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a space slug that's scaled to fit the Lego Ultimate Collector Series Millennium Falcon. And I'm going to tell people that the Lego Collector Series Millennium Falcon is in there, even though it's not. That way I can just say that I have it. But I'm like, but you see what I did there? It's down in the guts, just like the movie. How smart was I? Can I see it? No. The mouth's closed, dude. I'm not opening that up. You know how much work it took? So everybody will think it was just this super creative thing. I've just got this dumb, stupid, turd-looking space slug in my basement. It's like the size of a Cadillac.
you're going online. You're going to bricklink.com. Like, okay, I need to place an order for 750,000 dark gray and tan pieces.
Oh, no, I'm not building it out of Lego. I'll just make it like out of paper mache and stuff, so it's really cheap.
It's just gonna have paper mache. Just
It'll
gonna have
look great, but
newspaper and metal coat hangers
Yeah.
that you're bending up all over the place.
I'm gonna find something that weighs about the same as that Lego Falcon. I'm gonna put it down by the ass of the space slug. That way people go, no, it's not, and they pick it up. You feel something thumping around, like, oh my god, it's really in there. I'm like, I know, right? I'm totally gonna just pretend like I have it.
You just put 20 pounds of loose Lego down there, and you're like, listen, it's in there.
Oh, it broke again. I guess I'll have to fix that once you leave. I can't believe that happened again.
Damn that Lego kit. These things are so cheap anymore.
I knew I should have glued it together. Doggone it.
Well, that Lego report with
Those
the
Lepin kits don't fall apart
Right?
this easy.
The Star Wieners.
well, now we know why the thing cost $800. Not only is it massive, but apparently they have a crap load of profits they've got to start making up because they lost their ass last year.
Yeah.
Who would
they
ever
did.
think that Lego would lose money when they're putting out $800 sets?
Because they're putting out $800 sets. I mean, seriously, if you just put that thing at like half, I'd probably go buy one right now. But $800, I'm like, dude, that's like most of the way to $1,000.
Yep.
I mean,
Just think
I
about
could buy
what
a
you could do
guitar
with that.
for that.
That's the thing is I keep putting it in terms of other things I could buy with that, even within that store. I'm like, oh, I could get 3 other gigantic sets for the price of this one really gigantic set.
I'm holding a picture of your possibly a trip to Celebration.
Yeah, dude, no kidding.
That could be a 60-inch 4K TV.
Yep, dude. Honestly, $800 is
a mortgage payment.
Yeah,
You know what $800 honestly is? You just hit the nail on the head. That was my half of the hotel room for Celebration Orlando this year. So basically, I could stay for Celebration for a week, or I could get the Lego Millennium Falcon.
Lego kit.
And yeah, one is permanent, but I mean, they price themselves out. Yeah, I mean that's why.
Especially when 6 months from now you're gonna find the Star Wieners, the Lepin, whatever the hell company is gonna make it. There's gonna be one that's identical to that. That's $185 on some website somewhere.
Yeah,
and it's just as good. If you're not trying to resell the stupid things, like we've talked about it on the show, where I said I was gonna get the Death Star 2 and the original UCS
X-Wing.
No, not the X-Wing. The stupid
Star Destroyer.
God, I'm stumbling some words tonight. But yeah, I'm just like, that's for me though. So who cares if it says Lego on the bricks? Like, I'm just gonna build it and put it on a shelf. I'm not trying to do it for like resale. So screw it. If I can get the same kit for $130, why not?
Yeah, that's why I'm collecting the Black Series, because if you want to try and be a completist and get all of something. Okay, when the Black Series come out, they're what, $20-$25?
Yep.
So if I want to go add to my collection one night, I just go drop $20-$25. Okay, cool. But these Lego sets, man, I mean, some of the bigger ones are still like $300. It's like, if you want to be a completist, you got to drop down some serious change in order to do that. And I'm like, I don't want to get into that.
Yeah, and they're not getting cheaper either, man. Holy crap. Because especially for the new movie, being a Lego junkie, I'd love to buy those new sets. But let's see, we've got a $110 Resistance Bomber. We've got a $140 Walker. We've got a $150 Star Destroyer. Oh, you can get the Resistance Escape Pod for $30. That's your cheapest thing.
The coolest one they have is the one that they did not put a UCS logo on, even though it's got the UCS placard inside of it, is the BB-8.
Oh yeah,
for $100 for what, 1,100 or 1,200 pieces or something like that.
They really snuck that one in there. By the way, that is a collector series. It scales perfectly to the R2D2 they put out 5 years ago on purpose.
The head moves around, the front little flap comes down, so the little thumbs up lighter comes out of it. It's probably the coolest damn kit they got, and it's the most reasonably priced one that they dropped. But you're absolutely right. You look down, I'm looking over at my shelf there. Got 4 UCS kits between the Sandcrawler, the TIE Fighter, the Slave 1 and R2, and that's what, $900 sitting there?
Roughly, yeah.
Wow. So that's 2, 4, 6, and then the
Sandcrawler was $300,
was
right?
3. The other ones were all right around $200. So
yeah, who can afford that?
Yeah, I mean, I got how many damn sealed ones sitting on the floor behind you too. I mean, there's no UCS back there, at least not Star Wars UCS, but
it's really priced for fans, like older fans, because I mean, as a Christmas present, parents might get what, one of those sets for the kids, maybe 2. So who's going to get this $800 Millennium Falcon? I mean, it'll sell out.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
But it's the reason it's going to sell out is, like we said, if we had $1,600 laying around,
because
we'd buy one to build. Yeah, if one to build because we're completists and we love it. And dude, I'll be honest, I'd buy a second one and I would sock it away in a giant Tupperware container where it can't be hit by light or bumped around, or I would pack it in stuff so the corners of the box stay perfect, and I'd just sit on it for like 5-10 years or whatever till the thing goes up to like $15,000 or something.
That was the exact text I sent to AJ when he said he wanted to go get one. I was like, dude, I'll go to the store with you if I can physically put my hands on one of these damn things on the shelf. I'm going to take it home with me, and it's going to be for nothing but resale. The only thing I'm going to do to it is when I leave the store, I'm going to go to FedEx and go, hey, let's just hypothetically say I'm going to send this to Los Angeles, which is the furthest point away from us west. Weight and everything. Tell me what this would cost to ship out there. Once they tell me it's like $60-$70, now I can take the box back and go, hey, when I put this on eBay, I already know to charge an extra $60-$70 for shipping because I'm not going to eat that damn thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that would honestly be it. I would bring it here and I'd do exactly what you said, John. Is I would put it somewhere where, like you said, no light, no nothing, and I will forget about that thing. until 5-6 years from now when I can just throw that thing on eBay with no reserve and watch that thing go skyrocketing through the damn.
That's
See, we scoff at this, but we're Star Wars collectors. This is a fandom that has $15,000 Darth Vader statues available from Sideshow Collectibles. So really, is $800 for a Millennium Falcon that much?
Yeah, because
not in the grand scheme of things, but to people like us that are reasonable Star Wars collectors, yes, that is absolutely
well. And the $15,000 Vaders and Boba Fett's and Han and Carbonite and stuff like that. Dude, no reasonable fan has that.
No, but they also
the rich fans
look around your other shoulder. There's a nice $150 version of the Millennium Falcon made out of Lego right up there for the average collector.
That's not really an average price. Dude, you know what? I consider myself to be the average collector because I don't collect much, because I don't have the money to go dropping all this like tons of crap on a Lego kit.
There's a reason why I haven't bought Lego kits since I bought this house.
yeah, right. Exactly.
Honest to God, I don't know the last one. I think I've moved all these sealed boxes behind you. I think were moved from the apartment. I don't think any of this has come from since I've owned this house in 2 years.
Yeah, that's like I say, that's why I will stick to the Black Series, because they don't take up a lot of room until you have a bunch of them, which okay, whatever. And they're inexpensive relatively. I mean, when you're talking about $20 to $25 to add to your collection, okay, no big deal. You go shopping or something, you see that, you're like, oh, I don't got this one, I think I'll pick it up. Like, it can be just an impulse purchase. This other stuff, so many of these things you got to plan for, man.
I got to admit, I'm torn, because on one hand, I really want this thing. The one thing that's going to make it sell like crazy is because the one from 10 years ago is so through the roof on the secondhand market, unless you go the knockoff route, that this thing is a bargain by comparison. You're like, well, I could spend $3,000 on the older, less detailed version, or I can get this brand new, awesome one for a fourth of the price.
Yeah.
And honest to God, the majority, I'm not going to say majority, it's probably going to be around 50-50 of completionists and flippers.
You know what we do?
I think there's going to be more people that are going to pick this thing up the day it comes out because of the original one being as expensive as it is now, that I think everybody is just going to go there looking at this as
and that's what I think,
investment, and more so than I want to build this kit. Though I did tell AJ, if we want hits on this show, I'm like, what we need to do is go pick that thing up, build it, send it off the roof of my friggin' house, dude.
Let's just put out a tweet that we're giving
final flight of the Millennium Falcon.
Let's just say we got one and we're giving it away.
Okay, let's
but we don't actually have it. We'll just like retweet this for your chance to win. And then we'll never actually have it.
We can bleep this out later, but in all actuality, we're just going to get one of the Lepin ones and chuck that one off.
No, we're not going to get anybody. We're going to make a fake Twitter account that no one knows who it is. We're going to go, oh, this guy won, after like a ton of people retweet to get our Millennium Falcon. And then we just say we gave it to a fake. Like, oh, this guy won.
And we wonder why our application to Celebration gets rejected.
Yeah.
But so far, we've talked about breaking into a Walmart. We've talked about buying knockoff Lego from a licensed IP. Now we're talking about faking our own contest so no one can win.
Hey, mine was legit.
I just care about getting more listeners, damn it.
Mine was legit.
I have no shame.
I didn't say it was smart to drop $800 on this. I'm saying that's hits.
That's true.
Love it or hate it, that thing would go viral.
Remember
if we built that thing and 2 days later we went, hey, here's the box, here's this brand new one that everybody wants, and then go, hey, is that AJ with it up on the roof of my house? The final flight of the Falcon, slow motion, just playing the Star Wars theme as it comes crashing down into my driveway.
Yeah, I don't
remember that video
that
what was it? TechCrunch or someone like that, or Wired.com.
I think it was Wired, yeah.
They did the super Star Destroyer. Yeah.
I don't think I could do that.
I didn't say it would be easy. This would be tough to look at. I have a feeling you would just be sitting there thinking of Han while you're saluting the thing on the way down.
Right.
My heart leapt into my throat just watching Spider-Man Homecoming and seeing the Death Star hit the ground.
Maybe we could get somebody to come out and play taps over all the busted Lego in the driveway.
You know what we'll do, AJ? We'll just take a picture of me holding my hands out like I'm holding the box, and then we'll
Photoshop it.
And then what we'll do is I'll do it in paint. So it's like one of my horrible horrible quote unquote Photoshop jobs and go, we have a Lego Millennium Falcon Ultimate Collector series to give away. And everyone's like, that's Photoshop. Like, no, it's not. That's real. I'm telling you, it's real. That's the real deal. Just retweet this and you'll get one.
We got to put pictures up of you opening your Star Wieners.
We'll just get a bunch of the little free Millennium Falcons. They let you build a celebration, and we'll send one to everybody that retweets it. Like, you won. This isn't the Ultimate Collector series. Yeah, it is. You can at least buy the $800 one. This one you could only get at Celebration, and you weren't there, so this is more of a collector's item. We did you a solid.
And we only had 50 of them. This is a limited run of 50 Nerf Herder Council Millennium Falcons.
Yeah, right?
We'll autograph the little base plate that comes with it.
Oh, man. So one thing that you mentioned earlier, AJ, that I kind of wanted to touch on was books, which, of course, is a excellent little topic for our show concern. You can go to audibletrial.com/NHC to get a free 30-day trial of the Audible service and get a free audiobook download.
Sorry.
Steve, get with it. There we go. One for good measure.
Yeah.
I know you've been listening to Phasma, and before you get to your kind of review, because you're not finished with it, I have a kind of not finished with it review of Inferno Squadron. And
why are you laughing already?
We're giving book reviews after a couple chapters.
Like, well, we didn't really get through it, but we're going to talk about it anyway.
Yeah, screw you. It's pretty cool so far. I'm a few chapters in. They're just about to get to the major plot points and stuff. But to me, what's really cool about this is they basically what's happened so far. It's just I'm at the part where like Iden Versio survives the first Death Star explosion.
Okay,
like
so it picks up during episodes, like the end part of episode 6?
Episode 4.
Oh, the first Death Star explosion.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, and they start, she's talking to one of the other members of what will become Inferno Squadron. And he's like, did you hear how they did it? And she says, no. She said, one of the scientists that, designed the Death Star built this flaw into it, and it was designed to be destroyed. And, and then they start talking about the rebels on Scarif and how they got the plan. So they tied Rogue One into the book that happens between Rogue One and Episode 4.
Oh, that's awesome!
Really cool. I was like, man, this is, and it fits so seamlessly because now you've seen the movies, and I'm like, that is badass. It's really cool now that they're tying all the stuff together. When they do it well, it's cool because
it's like when they were talking about the storyline for Battlefront and everything. They show them down on whatever planet they're on.
Endor, yeah.
Was it Endor? As the Death Star blows up, you're like, oh crap! So this is the events of this are going on at the exact same time as Rogue One. It's like you said, the tie-ins are really nice. We'll give that to Disney. Who cares about the rehashes and stuff? But god damn, if they can't get these storylines legit to make these things all fit into place like a little puzzle, dude.
I just thought it was going to be the second Death Star because of the trailer for Battlefront 2, like you just mentioned, Steve.
Right.
So when I found out it was the first Death Star, I'm going, man, oh man. This poor woman, what are they like Kung Pao? What are the odds of that? She goes through 2 Death Stars getting blown up. Like, what the hell?
Speaking of that, not to throw your story off, but it just reminded me when you talked about the second Death Star. I saw pictures I got the Lego UCS thing in my hand again. I saw people put pictures of this on the internet and cut this much of it off. And they're starting to start rumors going, oh, they're going to build a new Death Star again in Star Wars. It's confirmed by the packaging for.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, really?
Oh, shut up.
And they also thought Star Destroyer. They also thought Star Destroyer because that's silhouetted back there, except if you look, one of them is partially lit, and it's just the same Star Destroyer.
And everybody was calling them out, too. They're like, oh, yeah, and the Empire TIE fighters and everything. Like, yeah, you idiot. Quick, keep grasping for these straws.
Right. But, back to the book. So the tie-in's really cool, but I'll be interested to see how this plays out because I wonder if it runs right into the events of Battlefront 2. So you kind of get the book, and then the video game will continue it.
I think so.
You can sit there and you can read the book and then watch Rogue One and then jump right into Battlefront.
Well, no, it would be Rogue One, and then the book.
Oh yeah.
It'd be Rogue One and then the book. and then it'd be Battlefront 2.
So if you really want to marathon it when Battlefront 2 comes out, that's the order you got to knock it out in.
Yeah, movie, book, video game.
And that was one of the best lines from the Battlefront 2 trailer was, they're watching, the stormtroopers are watching the Inferno Squad, and then she debark.
She says, "Oh no, not again." Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my right.
I'm like, when did this poor girl turn into like a 90-year-old woman
from Spaceballs with the alien?
When did B. Arthur become the main character in Battlefront 2?
I said, Harry, we on Pluto. I said, how can you tell? From the bog, you dummies. That derailed quickly. But anyway, so the best line.
Get him some water. Water my ass. Get this guy some Pepto-Bismol.
So anyways, the best line from the trailer.
So they're walking past the stormtroopers and they go, "We didn't know you were showing up. That's the idea."
That was pretty cool.
It's just right there. It explains why you didn't see them in the movie, because you're not supposed to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that part was pretty cool. I think
that was basically answering internet trolls right there for everybody. It was like, well, where were these things? It's same thing with Rogue One.
Yeah.
Well, where were these guys in episode 4? This and this. Well, they all died.
Yeah, they're dead.
They're all on the beach. They're gone. That's why you didn't see them.
Right?
Same thing with this. They're like, well, everybody's gonna ask where the hell these guys come from. They're just gonna. They've just been hidden, okay? Like, you're not supposed to know they're there. Stop asking us stupid questions, fanboys. Get out of here.
Well, speaking of tie-ins,
I was going to say this is a good tie-in.
The name of the Resistance frigate in Episode 8
is the Raddus.
Yeah,
for Admiral Raddus in Rogue One.
Yep.
Which, I didn't know this, so apparently I've missed something in canon, but I guess that's because he died somewhere along the way, and I think it's in canon somewhere. And was it above Scarif? Did he get blown out of the sky or something?
I thought that was the implication in general, was the fact that Vader was even able to get to the hallway, to the airlock that the Tantive 4 was docked at. I think that implies that the Imperials took the ship.
Okay, yeah, honestly, at that point of the movie, every time I watch it, I'm like, "Ooh, here it comes. Darth Vader's going to start killing people." So
let's just tweet Steven Stanton right now and ask him.
In fact,
Stanton, yeah.
Isn't that why the Tantive 4 had to basically eject? Was because the frigate was disabled?
That's a good question. I just thought it was because they had the plans and they're like, "Get the F out of here," smaller, faster ship kind of a thing. But,
it could be.
So, anyways, I thought it was a really good time. I like when they do this. When they kind of tie all the things together, they don't bring up needless plot points. They just tie the big ones together, and you're seeing all this stuff is like a big story. And I also think it's cool they're doing more stuff from the Empire's point of view, because it's kind of broadening the scope of the storytelling, which I think is really cool. So even though they've done it a couple times now, having some stuff like Tarkin and all that, they have this stuff from the point of view of the Empire.
That's going to be
Catalyst.
the next rehash 30 years from now. It's going to be all the original 12 movies all over again, but from the flip side of the coin.
Yeah, exactly, right?
See, it doesn't always work, though.
Well, yeah, and that's why I wanted to go, because you are not too thrilled with Phasma right now.
Well, no, I am not. I was going to piggyback off of the whole it's cool from the Empire's perspective thing, because one thing that you can and should never do is try to humanize or flesh out the character of a stormtrooper. I noticed this. This is one of the things
well, you don't like Finn, so.
Well, this is why the stormtroopers work as characters. It's because they're faceless, they're automatons, they don't have personalities of their own. And as we're told from Finn, raised from birth, indoctrinated in the dogma of the First Order, blah, 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 blah. So when you start writing stories and you have stormtroopers that actually have interpersonal skills and personalities and likable traits, it makes no damn sense. The only thing they should know is how to be a soldier and how to be completely devoted to that and have that be the end of it. The fact that they have any charisma whatsoever, can get along with anyone, is wrong. And that's kind of my biggest problem with this book. I mean, my 2-word synopsis so far of this book is, why bother? The basic plot is this. There's a political rival within the First Order, and this is not really a spoiler because his picture is on the back of the cover, called Cardinal, and he is cardinal red. So it's the same way Phasma is just a chrome stormtrooper, basically, with a there's some special word besides cape, but we'll say she's got a cape.
We'll say cape, yes.
He's got the same cape, and his armor is red. So he's just an all red stormtrooper instead of an all chrome stormtrooper, and he is a political rival of Phasma because apparently before she came along, he was in charge of training all the stormtroopers from kids on up.
So he's the Adidas trooper.
Yeah. He just needs the boombox.
Yeah,
the chain.
exactly. There you go. So anyways.
So he's...
Well, I mean, that's First Order, though. The Adidas trooper is the original, so,
Yeah, true.
Guy can't exactly, start going for copyright infringements or anything.
So the big problem with the book is that it's all told within the framework. And again, there was an excerpt posted on StarWars.com, so this is not a spoiler. But the whole story so far has been told in the framework of Cardinal captures a Resistance spy who has information about Phasma that he's trying to use to take her down. And so all the backstory of Phasma so far has been told from the captured rebel resistance spy's point of view. So, okay, if you're interrogating someone and you're trying to get information, you're not going to sit around and have the patience for a long form, deeply detailed narrative like it's a campfire story. But we're getting stuff, and this is all information that the rebel spy gathered by talking to someone who was part of Phasma's tribe on her home planet. So we're talking about something a resistance spy heard from someone who used to know Phasma and being told to the resistance spy's captor. That's not the premise for a book. That should be like a 20-minute conversation with a lot of torture and pain in between.
Yeah, and what spy is going to be like, you captured me, I'll tell you everything. Like, what the hell is that?
But if I'm going to tell you everything, let's start from back when, like 10 years ago, when she wasn't even off of her home planet yet. You really got to hear this part.
Yeah. It's like
they just got the
worthless
longest
crap ever.
winded resistance guy ever.
Yeah. Seriously.
It's that guy that needs to drag everything out longer than needs to be.
Yeah, and the writing
Do you remember the story of Phasma? Well, Pepperidge Farm remembers.
That was an awesome reference. Nice.
This is an old man chewing on a piece of hay telling the story of Phasma. It began many years ago when she was a wee lass, son.
Dude, okay, the writing is so bad.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That was great.
The writing is so bad at parts. The resistance spy is trying to get under the skin of Cardinal. So she tries to make fun of his red armor.
Wait a minute. Remember where you're at. The guy with the red armor's name is Cardinal?
Yes.
Let me guess. They have one with blue armor that's Blue Jay.
No, that's the next book.
And then they've got one with brown armor with orange trim that's called Robin or Oriole.
Right?
Well,
Give me
if it was
a
brown
break.
and orange, I know what a Novos kit you would be buying.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, that's
right.
true.
Man, how uncreative
this is the worst
that?
character ever, but I'm going to buy that armor, though.
It's like the Ben Burt Porg sound we talked about on the last show. F you, it's a Porg. Like, we got this red stormtrooper.
Porg Watch 2017.
Yes. Way to go. Yeah, it's like, so they got this red stormtrooper and then Cardinal. Why don't you just name it Apple or Strawberry?
Oh, come on!
Exactly. This is Cherry. No. Strawberry. No. Apple. No, that's not going to work. Clown Nose. No. Cardinal? Sure. That sounds great.
Yeah, it's
So what was his horrible nickname?
Yeah, so
emergency break. Really, that's the smack talk.
Yeah, thank you.
What's your name? Emergency break?
What do they got? Like a 68 Plymouth that they're referencing in the First Order? Like,
Really?
I don't have it, but this is the perfect time to play a car crash sound effect.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, the writing is just, it's cringeworthy at times. It is so cringeworthy. I'm still waiting for like interesting, good facts about the storyline or the background of the First Order to come out of this, because so far I'm just like I was going to listen to more of it on the way over here just to have some more information to talk about. I flipped over to a wrestling podcast again. I was it's like a slog. I just got to get through it because I started it and I paid money for it, but good Lord.
And we were texting about it the other day, and the first thing I sent back was, I was just like, wow, I'm like, that's so disheartening, because honestly, I wanted to know the backstory of Phasma, because I hated what they did with her in episode 7, because I feel like she could be a kick-ass character, and I hope that's what they turn her into in the next movies. So I was like, wow, like hopefully she just kicks some serious friggin' ass up to this point. And then AJ's like, man, this thing is written like the friggin' Dr. Seuss book, dude. Like there's nothing here. It's nothing. It's written at a 3rd grade level almost. And I'm just like, wow, that's horrible to even think that.
And the stupidity of nicknaming stormtroopers continues as well, because there's 3 stormtroopers involved in the story here so far. In the flashback, when Phasma first meets the First Order, because some of them crash on her planet.
Well, we got the red one, and so there's got to be a yellow, a pink, a blue, a black one. The rest of the Power Rangers.
Yeah. So there's Zordon. There's
Zordon is just Snoke in a glass tube.
Oh man!
What was the name of the stupid robot? With the lightning bolt.
I know.
Chest.
Oh crap! I was trying to come up with that, and I don't know it. Our buddy Chris down in Florida is going to have my head for this. He loves the Power Rangers. Man,
it was Johnny Five.
Thrasher, I'm sorry. Oh man,
it was Johnny Five.
But Mordo or Morbo or no, Morbo's like Space Ghost or something. But anyway,
I just hit you with a Short Circuit reference, so I'm just going to live with that one. Johnny Five alive.
Okay, so let's see if you can get this without even reading the book. Because think back to Force Awakens.
All right.
Think of how we got Finn's name, right? What was his serial number?
FN, who gives an F.
Okay. So
FN 2187.
Okay, so we've got a stormtrooper whose designation is PT something. What do you think his nickname is?
Pat.
JT?
I actually, based on that logic, Pat would make sense.
No, you're trying too hard.
Oh, really?
PT Cruiser.
Almost. Petey.
So it's just PT.
Okay. And then and it gets better though, because here's his response when person tries to nickname him Petey. Well, that's kind of like a boy's name. Can it just be Pete?
Oh my gosh!
You're a stormtrooper.
My head hurts.
Okay, next one. A female stormtrooper.
Waffle. Her number is TW2187.
Oh my god. Well,
she was HB 4281. What do you think it is? Hobag. So we've got Hobag, Waffle, Petey, and Finn. Now we can write another book that can be read by Mark Thompson.
Her serial number was HO37. No. We're not going there. It's Disney, remember?
The First Order is just incredibly misogynistic, and so all the female stormtroopers start with HO. Like,
oh, good Lord.
Oh, my gosh.
Well,
anyways, female, yes.
Serial designation is LE something. What do you think her name turned out to be?
Ellie.
Hey, now you're picking up on it.
All right.
Who
No,
is
let's keep
writing
this
this?
going. Is there like 50 more of these? We could do this the rest of the podcast. This is a nice game.
These are turning into like those jokes. Like, what do you call a guy with no arms and no legs floating in your pool?
Bob?
Yeah, like we call a guy with no arms and no legs on your front doorstep, Matt. You know, like it's like becoming that, like the dumbest, most obvious thing ever. Like, what the hell?
And the third guy is HF something. They call him Huff.
Oh, I thought it was going to be horse. Never. I'm thinking too far into it again.
So yeah, we've got the red guy named Cardinal, and we've got Ellie, Pete, and Huff. Oh, let's all love the First Order, kids.
Would it be great if they did all that and then they get HF? What's your name? Huff? No, it's Marwak Lebeb. Where the hell did you get Huff from HF? Like, totally flip it on its ear. Like, what? No. Like,
Just some very normal name that's like Enrique.
yeah.
What?
Yeah, exactly. My call number is JO4716. Oh, so you're Joe, right? No. They call me Stanley. Where the hell did you get Joe from?
Go back to episode 7. What's your name? FN2187. I'm going to call you Jack.
That would be so great. It makes no sense whatsoever. They just name them the First Order just turns out to be complete morons. All right, PT, PD. I'm gonna call you Bartholomew.
PT, porg trainer.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Borg Watch 2017.
Or is it PW?
Yeah, his call sign is PW2017. It's awesome.
It's like, wait, what's your name? And he just responds with
Borg Watch 2017.
he just has no vocal cords, so he has to communicate through the one sound.
It's like like that one movie where with Transformers with Bumblebee has to do with like he communicates with stuff off the radio. He's that guy. He's like the mute stormtrooper that just has MP3s pumping out of his helmet to communicate and stuff like that. So all right, so it's really that bad, huh? How much more do you have to get through? Do you know?
Well, I got my phone right here. Let me see what chapter I'm on. There's like 40 chapters, and according to my audibletrial.com/NHC subscription,
Which you got?
I do believe
I swear we are so.
I am
stupid.
halfway through.
Oh my God! You still have half of it to go.
I'm on chapter 21 of 44.
Now, can you get through this? Are you getting through it for the knowledge, or are you able to get through it because you want to know what the hell happens at this point? That you're like committed because you're past the halfway point.
Exactly. I'm in it. There's always something that at least like lends itself to the overall canon. So even when the writing is no good, it's kind of cool to have the facts. You know, like even something silly like that Ahsoka book.
With the hopefulness that there's something cool that comes out of it at the end.
Right. Like even if it's something that's a letdown, like, you know, in the Ahsoka book, well, I know how she got her white sabers now. It was a dumb way to do it, but now I know where they came from.
See, you're better than me. If a book starts sucking, I'm like, I'm out. I just won't finish it.
This might be a problem, but you know what I've noticed is my least favorite books are the ones written by female authors. Maybe it's just like the storyline, the writing style or something, because they're not poorly reviewed, but they're just not my style. I think that's kind of like the good and the bad thing is when you've got this much stuff coming out, you can kind of pick and choose, and you're not going to love everything, but there's a good variety for, you know, different tastes.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I mean, the Inferno Squadron book that I'm listening to right now is written by a female, and I'm digging it.
Narrated by a woman or a man?
A woman, actually the actress that plays Iden Versio in the
that's
video game.
cool.
So it's actually her.
That's something I noticed too, is it's always, I've never heard a male reading a female authored book or vice versa.
Yeah. I mean, the only weird part is like when she does the voices for the male characters.
Yeah.
It sounds like I'm a woman trying to sound like this. Like, it's kind of weird, but
it always happens in reverse when it's a guy narrating.
Yeah, true. Well, I don't know. I mean, I kind of with God, what was it? What was the one that we just? Oh, Thrawn. That guy's female voices were pretty believable. You know, I mean, he can't do great because he's a guy, but it was pretty believable. So, I mean, I don't know. And I'm not complaining about it because, I mean, what do you want? A woman trying to do a man's voice. She's not going to do that.
Right.
It's not like she'd be like, he was walking down the hallway and turned to her and said, "Hey, where are we going?" Like, it's not like it's going to drop down into Barry White tones or something. But
hey, girl.
You sure got a pretty mouth.
I think with the number of mixed genders that they've got in these stories now, I don't see why they don't just get two narrators in there and they, when you got a female voice, there's the female voice actress doing something, that'll probably be the next step. Cause I always thought that'd be cool too. Have actual readers, different actors for the different characters, but it's probably just a pay thing, Oh yeah.
So
yeah. They just want to bring one person and shoehorn them into like 7 books. So just read them all. You got 2 days, read them all, send it. They don't want to pay anybody extra to do that crap.
Right. Well, since we're close to the end of the show, there was one more thing we wanted to mention. And since we probably don't have much to say about this, the new Rebels Season 4 trailer was released.
Speaking of tying in different continuities.
Yeah.
Main takeaways?
Speaking of things that I have yet to see.
I don't really remember it because I was just like,
great. That makes me feel a lot better, honestly.
Well, as we've said,
I'm not even being sarcastic. Just the fact that that's your take on it. I'm just like, okay, I don't feel so bad about missing it now.
It really slipped out. I didn't catch it until today. I didn't know it was even out.
I saw it on Twitter. I was like, oh, this came out. There certainly wasn't a ton of buzz for it. I don't think, because I was looking at Force Friday stuff a lot, and then it kind of just like, oh yeah, the new trailer's here. I was like, oh cool. So I watched it. I mean, I don't know. I'd probably remember it more if I was more into the show. As I've said before, like I'm kind of watching it just so I don't Clone Wars myself and not. Although at this point, really, it doesn't really friggin' matter because it's not like I remember anything in Rebels. So,
I think Rebels peaked. I think with that season 2 thing with the Vader Ahsoka thing, there was so much push behind that, and everybody knew that damn thing was happening. It's like ever since then, it's just been like,
Well, I mean, the Inquisitor was cool in the first season. The Vader Ahsoka thing was cool. Thrawn was really kick ass. I think with that show, it's just, man, and we'll get into this in another episode in more detail, but it's those damn filler episodes. They're just so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, because it's like, in each season, there'll be like 3 or 4 episodes. They're nothing but the direct, birth of the rebellion type of a storyline. And those are awesome. But then you get the stupid crap like the space whales or, like the one with Zeb and God, what's the do with the sideburns?
Callus.
Yeah. Zeb and Callus they get stuck in a hole. And
but that one paid off though.
Yeah, it paid off, but it was just kind of like, all right, like
That one, at least I could see that as that was a branch off, like that one's close, but it's not in that main thing. Like you said, those main 3-4 episodes. Yeah, that one at least had an ability to play off, but yeah, the space whales, no reason for it.
Yeah.
Honestly, Rebels could have been 1 season long with just nothing but like 12 amazing episodes, and it probably would have been a lot cooler.
I wonder if somebody's going to do that when this is done.
Like the fan edit kind of a thing?
Just erase certain episodes.
Just dump 17 episodes in your lap of all 4 seasons, and they're all the necessary ones.
Yeah, that episode where they found the 3 old clones when they brought back Rex, and they had the sandstorm with the walkers and the battle. That was amazing.
Yeah.
And those episodes are so few and far between. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why do we need all this excess crap? So when I watched the season 4 trailer, I was just kind of like, because I know the season is just going to be whatever. And now he's riding around on a damn wolf. There's tons of crap about these force wolves. What is with this? What is with Star Wars becoming a damn National Geographic special? We got birds. We got wolves. Seriously, we got everything.
Borg Watch 2017.
Honest to God, it's like all these stupid Force animals. There's like Force eagles or something, or because there's like the Loth
Force
wolves.
eagles can live in the Force tree. Okay.
Yeah, there's like the Loth eagles, the Loth wolves. We got the porgs.
The white cat.
Yeah, the Loth cats. Like there's all stuff about animals. Like enough already. Good God.
I think they've done enough with creatures now. I'm ready for more. I don't know.
Porgs and the wolves banged, and that's how we got Ewoks.
Yeah,
no, that's
right?
out. That's out of the. That's out of the
Spoiler.
timeline. There, sorry.
But yeah, I don't know. And so I was watching the trailer. I'm like, all right. I mean, I'm like, okay, the wolves would come along. I'm like, who cares? And then the big eagles or whatever the heck they're supposed to be. I'm like, whatever. And then they get to the part about the war on Mandalore. I'm like, that's kick ass. I want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even like the whole Ezra Jedi thing is cool to me, if only for the fact that there's always been that kind of undertone of, is he going to become a Sith? Is he going to turn to the dark side? Like what's going to happen? So that's kind of, you wonder if there's going to be that turn. And I mean,
well, obviously the big question now, since we know that this is the last season, what's his fate?
Yeah. How does it
who's
end?
going to die?
How does it end for everybody? I mean, we did hear in Rogue One that they had name dropped Hera, but
so we know Hera survives.
so it's like what
Hera,
about
the
everybody
Ghost, and
else?
Chopper make it.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Yeah, you
who
don't
knows?
know. So who?
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I mean, the visuals are cool. I mean, the show's drawn well, I suppose, but I don't know. It was kind of in one eye and out the other since it's visual instead of oral, but AURAL. I mean, it was cool, but I'm just like,
I liked seeing more of Saw.
Yeah.
And Two Tubes.
You know what? Let me ask you something. Am I wrong, or did it sound like Forrest Whitaker is now voicing Saw?
He always has. He did Saw Gerrera in season 3 as well. Yeah.
I didn't think he did because he
he didn't do Saw Gerrera in Clone Wars, but
no, I know that. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
I think it was like maybe the week after Rogue One came out in theaters is when that episode of Rebels dropped with Saw Gerrera on it. Maybe 2 weeks. And it was Forrest Whitaker doing the voice.
Okay, I was not aware of that. So
what's interesting is if you notice in the trailer, like he was in season 3, he was clean shaven Saw, as you see him at the beginning of Rogue One, and then in season 4, he's crazy grizzled gray hair.
He's older,
yeah, and he's basically like bitching about the wussy tactics that the rebellion's using. So we get to see where that split really takes place, which is going to be cool.
Yeah, those tie-ins are pretty sweet. So, I mean, I agree that's going to be cool. I don't know.
That still reeks to me of only one episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they do that every time. Like, they take the best parts of, like, 3 episodes, and then the other, like, 13 episodes of the season are all like,
How much is it going to suck if this season's actually amazing, and you're like, and now you're ending it? Like, right as you finally make a good show?
I feel like that might be the case, yeah. I feel like, especially like we were talking about, like, visually, how it always looked like the cheaper show by far, because it was, but now that they're 3 or 4 seasons in, they've got enough stuff built up, enough visual assets that they can really throw extra money into the polish of it because they don't have to make everything from scratch every time.
Yeah.
Like now I think the show is really starting to visually look absolutely amazing, and now it's over.
Yeah.
Like, damn it.
Well, they did show the, what are they called? The ATM6?
The Gorilla Walkers?
Yeah. What are those? AT what?
M6, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Those were in there? I missed them.
I read an article that had like screen caps kind of like reviewing the trailer of what you see, and there's actually a lot of stuff in there. So it's kind of interesting, but I wonder if since they have the Gorilla Walkers, if they're going to show how you destroy them. And it better not be a friggin' lightsaber through the leg again.
No.
Wouldn't that be hilarious? How are we going to do this? Well, we cut off the legs of the AT-ATs with a lightsaber, so what are we going to do? We're just get a really, really friggin' long lightsaber.
That's how they're going to take them out in Last Jedi, is because everything is bigger for the First Order. They're going to have gigantic lightsabers for the Resistance.
Luke's going to jump out of nowhere.
It's going to be something stupid like these little things off the front leg.
Oh, like
there.
basically like the Achilles tendons.
Yeah, you're just going to hack those, and they're just going to nose down just like the AT-ATs did.
Some dude just runs up to it and shoots it and breaks one and runs away, and the whole thing crumbles, and then the First Order's sitting there scratching his head and like, wow, I didn't think of that. Damn it.
I like my giant lightsaber idea instead. I want a team of like 10 resistance soldiers all grabbing like the hilt at the same time, like running up in a big unit.
Or just have the blade be like 30 feet long.
Right.
So when they ignite it, you know, the sound effect goes, pew. It's going to be so it goes, and they just sit there and they hit it.
The guy's carrying it like those guys had to do with the logs back during the strongman competitions, just trying to balance it while he's wobbling all over the damn place.
He's running and he ignites it and he just sits there staring at it. You just hear the sound effect and he's like, turns and looks at his watch, was like waiting for the thing, and the sound effect's still going, and then it stops. Oh, and then he starts swinging it at the ATM 6 legs and everything.
Meantime, you could tell who's carrying it because they've got like no eyelashes and no eyebrows. Right. Just singes everything right off.
It's like having a firework in your hand or something. That's all the resistance people. They come back from battle. And they look like cancer patients.
Oh God!
They just all look like powder.
Yeah, right. How'd it go out there? What did you get? Oh, that's right. Never mind. We know what you did. You over there with the eyebrows. What did you do?
I'm sorry, do you have alopecia or you just fight for the resistance?
Yeah, right. That'll be the next casting announcement. They hired like a load of people with alopecia.
Voldemort is the poster boy for the resistance.
I lost my nose in a lightsaber accident.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. Don't forget to marker that, AJ, because I did just drop another S-bomb, but oh man, on that note, we'll close up shop. We could talk more about Rebels another time, which really should be kind of like a detailed discussion.
Well, we've got until October 16th to get that one covered, so.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks everybody for listening to another episode. We want to thank Audible for partnering up with us. We appreciate it. As much as we joke about it, don't forget you can go to audibletrial.com/NHC. You'll get a free 30-day trial of the Audible service, which we highly endorse. And for that 30 days, you do get one free audiobook download, so you can go pick anything you would like. They have a ton of titles. You can find the show on our YouTube page, which is a fun way to find us. I actually may have a guest coming up. Yeah, the Classic Metal Show. My best friend Chris Aiken and my buddy Neely, they do that show. It's very big on Saturdays from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern Standard. One of the fans of the show in the chat room the other night, she knows she says a reasonably sized YouTuber. It's Greedo something, and he likes to review up and coming Star Wars podcasts, try and give him some love. So she said she might be able to get us, in touch with him. So that'd be kind of fun.
Nice.
So, so we're into the YouTubes, as AJ calls it. So check us out on YouTube. Our main outlet.
I don't call it that. No one calls it that.
Yes, you did. You said we likes the YouTubes.
You don't,
on another show.
I said I likes the two tubes.
Nice. Which of the two twins was it? But
Edrio.
Yeah, it was Edrio. Our main platform obviously is Spreaker. You can also find us on iTunes and Stitcher and Google Play. If you'd like to interact with us directly, you can leave us a voicemail at 440-987-WARS, and we'll play your voicemail on the show and react to that. So, AJ, put your finger in the air. Did you have one more thing?
Yeah, as long as we're doing shameless plugs, I wanted to let everybody know, if you just love my dulcet tones so much, and your nerd fandom extends beyond the wars... Yeah, thank you. Awesome, great. Being heckled on my own show. Screw you, I'm going to go start my own.
With blackjack
and
hookers.
Nice. So anyways.
No, much like the show itself may be,
that was
actually my computer for a change making the noise.
Right.
Anyway,
look, I know I muted it.
If your nerd fandom extends from wars over to Trek, there is a new series coming out that may itself be a train wreck. So hopefully my podcast will follow suit. So we will follow up with additional information, but we will have the Star Trek Discovery podcast starting up soon with me and fellow Trek nerd and Walking Dead podcaster. So I will follow up with more details on that as soon as our first episode is published.
Alrighty. Well, so there you go. Check out AJ's new podcast. And until then, I'm your host, JT at Dog Pound Jedi. He's AJ.
At Drake Adams 579.
He's Steve.
At JSteve1005.
And we will catch you next time.
This bucket of bolts is never gonna get us past that blockade.
This bucket's got a few surprises left in her. Plus, me and Chewie are on it. Ain't that right, Chewie?
Hell yeah, you my nerf herder.
You my nerf herder.